All right, so obviously we're in a unique position because we're housed at a university, so it does make it a lot easier for us to have these relationships and build relationships with faculty members and community groups and be kind of the liaison. But I just, so my presentation is a lot of slides, but I'm going to kind of go through them quickly. So, what is community engagement? There are a lot of definitions out there. When it comes to the university's vision for community engagement, it has to do with building partnerships with community groups or community members, and the idea is for those partnerships to lead to programs and events or activities that are mutually beneficial. So who is doing community engagement? It's actually happening all over the world, and it's very exciting, and it seems to be a growing movement in pretty much, or not every country, but a lot of countries. And every country might approach it differently. Different universities will approach it differently, but the common thread is that there seems to be a growing interest and growing list of reasons to look at community engagement. So this is just, if anybody's interested, I can send this out too. And then the other thing is there are many different types of community engagement. So when you're talking about a university, there are different ways for university members to become involved with a community organization. So there's service learning. Service learning, if anybody's not familiar with it, it's a very systematic way for a faculty member to create a course of study for their students that allows them to put what they're learning in the classroom into practice and learn kind of in the field. So we have a lot, so two at once. Faculty research is big for us. It's important for our work to have the research-based programs. And then faculty members are a lot of pressure is put on faculty members to publish and to do research. So when we can work together, that's really useful. Course projects, it's similar to service learning, but it might be sort of like the course is a longer course and there are many different things happening, but maybe there's one specific project that happens throughout the semester or at a specific time in the semester that the students work on. An internship, a lot of our students, depending on the major, will have an internship requirement or not, or maybe they just choose to do an internship, and that could be for credit or for some other reason. A student group, sometimes fraternities or sororities or another student club is interested in doing a project or an event, and so that's always another way. And then volunteer placements. So our social work students, and I think most social work students have to do a certain number of volunteer hours each semester. So we work with them often. Almost every semester we have at least one or two social work students working with us. The other thing is a lot of times certain disciplines seem like a natural fit, like psychology and social work, the social sciences. But sometimes, such as you saw the student Nayab talking about the work he did on the website, we'll find that maybe a different unexpected major would be interested in working on a project with us, and it will be a really unique experience and very useful. Sorry, I have examples that I was going to give, but I just don't want to get. So balancing, the most important thing that I think we touched upon earlier is that everybody who's coming into this has their own goals and interests. And it's important to keep those in mind when you're building these partnerships. And that's something that we have to do whenever we start a new project. So faculty will come with kind of their own set of things that they're interested in when they're starting a project. Same with school administrators, so they might be interested in different things. It could be someone from the alumni office or the university president or someone from another office, like the community engagement office. Students, obviously, the same, and then you look at nonprofit organizations and what are their goals and their interests and kind of balancing those. And then the community in general, and then obviously we keep in mind our own interests, and we want to make sure that no matter what project we're working on, we're meeting our own goals and we're sticking to, within our guideline or our guiding principles. And then in terms of managing projects, There are sometimes pitfalls, and I don't like to focus on these, but but I figured I'd mention them. Sorry. So I'll just go through these quickly because I don't think they require that much explanation. So obviously communication is one big thing to keep in mind. You want to make sure that everyone is communicating and feels confident that things are moving forward in the right direction. Similar with organization. So if you're starting a new project, you want to be organized and kind of have a system. Funding. So sometimes a project you might have funding for 1 year, but then it turns out that you need to do another year of that project. So you have a plan B and adjust things. Yeah, ask for more money. Egos. So this is something that we sometimes encounter with faculty members, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it does.
Community members
yeah.
as well.
Right. Exactly.
They know the community better, and who is this faculty member to tell me anything about the community, and then faculty have their own.
Exactly. Recruitment. So if obvious, I don't really probably need to say anything about that. I think everyone knows how that can be complicated. And then scheduling is the last thing. So that's the end of my presentation. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry, there was one other thing. So communication and logistics. So I guess just some advice would be, involve everyone. It really helps. We've noticed that when you want to get people involved, it's really good to bring them in at the beginning and make them part of the planning process, because that's going to build investment. And make sure that you clarify the goals at the beginning and everybody understands where you want to see this end up. And then obviously you want to send reminders, follow up and thank people. Wrong way. And then the last thing that I've learned is when there's a problem, it's really good to kind of become an expert at problem solving, but also just to move on quickly and don't dwell on problems. So that's it.